Ladies and gentlemen, this is TAA Media here, back again to talk about the hit MTV TV series Teen Wolf. And for all the people that don't remember, it's almost been a year since the hit TV show ended on MTV. To talk about what Teen Wolf and stuff meant to me is a whole nother video, a whole nother subject. But instead, I'd like to talk about today the possibility of its new life. Last year, we were gifted to news that a news piece that told us that eventually we would get a reboot of Teen Wolf, and that it would be sort of a spinoff, with maybe Scott involved, and maybe the character, I don't even remember his name, that was showing up in the series finale that Scott and Argent saved. And we've been waiting for news on it for so long, and we really haven't gotten much. There's a couple things come out, within the last couple months, about when it could return, what Jeff Davis's podcast thing was supposed to be. But eventually, we haven't really came to any solid news or solid moves, solid steps in the return of Teen Wolf. And I think that we should be getting something, concrete soon. Some stuff in the last 2 weeks has, continuously popped up. If you're looking around and really scavenging for this, Teen Wolf information, there's been some things, some talks about bringing a new series to the forefront. Especially on MTV's concern. From the people that I've been talking to, MTV is really scavenging for a hit TV show. In the scripted area. They haven't really had any big hits. The last thing I remember that really any fans, social media wise, got any buzz was the show that came with the show that aired that was still with Teen Wolf, which was the Shannara Chronicles, and obviously Scream, which its third season is really nowhere to be found. You're looking for news on that. There's not much. That was supposed to air back in March. So no one really knows what MTV is doing with their scripted television department, and but from what I hear, they're really trying to dig into Jeff Davis's plans. See what's going on with the new Teen Wolf reboot or spinoff or whatever. And from what I've recently seen is that the only concrete stuff that we've seen is that it's going to be a spinoff. Not a reboot, not a whole, different thing, involving a different character. It's going to be a whole new, piece of, it's going to be like a couple new characters. What I've read is that it does not take place in Beacon Hills. Scott McCall is not involved in the show. However, I've read certain things here that one of the characters that are planned for the series are related to Lydia Martin, and I don't know if that means she'll show up at some point. But I mean that's really all you can determine, is that they made a character that's related to Lydia in the show because they want Lydia to stop by at some point. I haven't seen nothing about as much as Tyler Posey is what's the word? As much as he's wants it to happen, or is rallying for a new Teen Wolf show and him being in it. What I've seen so far is that he's not included. At least immediately, right away. Maybe they got plans for him to come in, which I'm sure if they want to or he wants to, they'll do. But as far as I've seen, that's not the case. Also, the anyone that's holding out hope for Styles Stilinski, aka Dylan O'Brien, to appear in any type of Teen Wolf, spinoff going forward, especially this soon, I wouldn't get my hopes up. He as we've seen and as he said, he wasn't contracted for the final season, and he only really came back because that show felt like a home to him and stuff. And I really think he's not looking for a new home in another Teen Wolf show again anytime soon. He was there for the end of the premiere and the whole series finale last year, but it's obvious that a lot of the cast has just moved on from the show, and for anyone expecting all these characters to come back from that show is obviously a little absurd. I don't think we'll be getting anyone besides maybe Scott, maybe Lydia, and actually there's a little bit of a high chance for Malia as well. I'm not sure what the whole deal is on that, but those two. I haven't seen anything about the Hale family. Oh, and Theo, Cody, Cody Christian. Sorry, Cody Christian is. I don't know if he's like scheduled to return or whatever, but I'm pretty sure Theo is a main fixture for any type of new show that they want on. According to Jeff Davis's couple of interviews over the last 10 or so months, he's mentioned a few times that Theo is a fan favorite that he'd love to bring back in some form. I believe he was talking about the podcaster thing or whatever, but I have no doubt that there's a new spinoff. The same rules apply for him wanting to get Cody Christian back on the show. He does have a new series though in the fall, so I don't know if he'll have time to come back, but I do know that they want to bring him back. I also know that the Hale family is not involved at all in this new spinoff, from what I've read. It's not much, and it's not like a script or anything. It's more of a thing. It's hard to explain, but from what I've read, the Hale family is not in there at all. So anyone expecting Peter Hale back, which obviously I would love. Malia I don't think is involved as of yet, and obviously everybody's favorite Derek is definitely not going to be involved. Besides that, a lot of people are just looking for. I've seen some fake leak spoilers and stuff, and about the current state of the project that they have at MTV that's getting ready to try to be something. It doesn't involve almost any of the old characters from the old show, really none of them. There is one character that I know for sure is involved in the story and is involved. I don't know about the actor, but I know that the character definitely is penned ready to be a part of the show. I'm pretty sure the actor will be as well. I haven't seen him, doing much. I don't want to spoil anything, or anything yet, until it's made out to be for sure. But as far as I know, this character is almost like 99% a sure thing for the what they're trying to come up with for the new Teen Wolf series. Besides that, I have no idea what's taking them so long. Like I said, in the last week of what I've seen, the show isn't even ready to it's only over a little over halfway to being ready to present and ready to start casting and all that, and start ready to actually start writing for. And I don't know what it's pretty much how MTV does things, or MTV production does things. If anyone remembers, I think it didn't it take them like 4 years to make the Scream TV series? I'm pretty sure it was announced in either 2011 or 2012 or whatever, but it took like 3 or 4 years just for MTV to come up with the 10 episode first season of Scream. And I think that's just what MTV does. It takes them a couple years to get stuff rolling. I know a lot of people are used to the fast-paced production companies of like CBS and CW and TNT and all that. Where they only take like 8 months to get a show ready after it's green lighted and stuff. And I think MTV is just, I guess they're just taking their time, trying to make sure they do it right, which is what, if I read correctly, is what they did with the first Teen Wolf. I believe they took like 2 years or whatever to get it before it was ready for any type of release. Uh, I really think the show could be a good thing for the future of MTV and the future of the Teen Wolf franchise. A lot of people don't like new journeys, new reboots and stuff with shows, especially after the originals ended. But this isn't a reboot. Like I said, it's a spinoff basically. Uh, it's a little far. From what I've seen, it's a little far in time from the last events of Teen Wolf, the series finale. But there was also a time jump towards Okay, so this might be in the same realm as the last we seen in Teen Wolf, time wise. But I'm okay with that. This is really all the news that there is on the new Teen Wolf spinoff, slash new series of Teen Wolf. I don't know what they're calling it. I don't know if it's gonna be like Teen Wolf, New Wolves or something stupid like that. I don't know if it's gonna be Teen Wolves. That's the working title that a lot of people have been like putting out there. That's there is no working title as far as I've seen. It's untitled as far as I've looked. But I know a lot of people out there put Teen Wolves just for for it being, it's pretty much a sequel series, and it's gonna be something like that. Besides that, I have no idea what uh, the starting point is for this. I don't know when they're going to try to get it greenlit, or present it to the or I think it's already been shown to the network. I think the network's working with them, as far as I can tell. Don't know if it's gonna get greenlit anytime soon. I don't know, what the timeline is with the show. I don't know what the timeline is with it at all. I have no, I have no contact to Jeff Davis or anything like that, so I don't know. I couldn't tell anybody when the hell this thing is expected to be done or what they really want to do with it. I've just seen a couple of things, and it's looking all right. It's not looking really. From what I've seen, the process is barely over halfway done from it being presented, and I don't know why they're taking so long with it. Maybe it's not a high priority. Maybe it's not. Maybe they've ran into a couple speed bumps along the way. I don't know. I hope it gets done soon, because I know like right now it would have been the perfect time to announce a Teen Wolf spinoff or anything like that, in my opinion. I know a lot of people were looking for the announcement like a month or two after the series ended. I don't think they were even ready for anything. I don't even think they started anything after the series ended. I think they were just they had the idea and they've been waiting so long to do something with it. The end of the series really was this end of an era. Last year for the vampire werewolf craze to finally be put at least that specific era to be put to bed last year with the end of the Vampire Diaries and Teen Wolf is really was an end of an era for a lot of television fans, including myself. I think that going forward, to really expand on the Teen Wolf environment, you really have to have something good and something with substance to make a great TV show. And I think on the opposite side of that, over on the TVD universe, we are getting legacies and stuff, and that looks like it's ready to go. Teen Wolf has always been really loose with a lot of its characters and a lot of its story. So maybe they're really trying to get something concrete. Like how Teen Wolf started. Teen Wolf started with a real concrete story, real concrete universe. And then obviously like around season 4 or 5, like pretty much season 5. That's when the rules started getting really loose and a little bit broken, and by 6 and by 6A and 6B and all that, you really had a whole new kind of extravagant world than the small town one you got in the first half of the series. So I don't know if this is a continuation of that, or if they're just gonna really rebuild into a small little world for this new series. Hopefully we get some more news on it going forward. I don't think this will be anywhere near ready to go until next summer. So the disappointing part here is that I really don't think we'll be getting a new Teen Wolf series for at least 2 years. Probably minimum. Like I said, I don't think they'll have anything done to really show, or anything like that till next summer. Like, you might get the announcement of a new Teen Wolf series coming next summer from like MTV or something. They'll probably put out a public statement. And that will be, it'll be released next summer, and then it will say, the new Teen Wolf series is coming next summer. So I'd say minimum you're getting a new series or anything in the next 2 years. At most, it could take up to 3 or 4, and like 3 as in there'll be something will happen in their late, or 4 or 5 years because they'll want to be into the new decade and there might be a new craze or something they want to jump on. And I know how that sounds. It sounds terrible. Like, I don't want to wait 5 years either for another Teen Wolf series, but I mean, depending on how it works, that's how it's most likely going to work. And I know it sucks, but that's really all you can do. Yeah, that's it for me. I hope, my hopes is that we get one within the next 2 years at least. I wouldn't even mind if they released it in the winter or anything like that. I know Teen Wolf is like a whole summer thing, but if it came earlier, the earlier the better, in my opinion. I think the vampire werewolf craze won't start again. It's gonna come back. We all know that, but I don't think it's gonna hit again until at least another 5 years, and I don't feel like waiting 5 years. So I'd be happy if it could hit again. Around within the next 2, the next 1 maybe. Like, say if it jump started in the next year, they'd rush to get another Teen Wolf out there. But we'll see. This is TAA Media here. Teen Wolves, whatever the hell it's gonna be called, is hopefully on the way. And I'll see y'all if there's more news on it in the future. Peace.